Hello, sir.
John Popko.
ClayxScott, internet sensation, a real content creator, a real digital creator. And I say that because I feel like everyone on social media now is listed as a content creator or digital creator.
Yep.
But you're legit.
I'm a real degenerate. I would say that, but yeah, it's a silly title, but yeah.
But I mean, it's true though. I mean, like you have a lot of followers, you have a lot of content. I mean, you have to have content to be a content creator, right?
That is
But
true.
a lot of views, a lot of let's say uh not I don't want to say interaction, but a lot of what's the word I'm looking for here? Uh
Engagement.
Engagement, thank you.
Yeah,
A lot of engagement. And I was a part of that at one point.
you were. You
And
were. You
we'll
got
get
eaten
into that.
alive. Yeah. Yeah.
We'll get into
Yeah.
that.
You did.
What a world we live in. But
Awesome.
content creator, dad, um is it musician or is it music creator? What do you want to call that?
I would not call myself a musician. I would say I'm a guy that dabbles in music occasionally.
Music production. How about that?
We'll call it that. Yeah,
Okay.
that's fair.
I didn't know how to
That's fair.
label it. 'Cause so full disclosure, Clay and I work together during
We
the day.
do.
Had a lot of fun during the day. But
That is true. A
we
lot
all
of eye
have these,
contact. A
yeah.
lot of eye contact, right? Just 'cause you're like Wilson in Home Improvement. Like your eyes, like this is your computer,
Yep.
and your eyes are just above it. And I always end up being at the table right in front of your office, and we make a lot of unintentional eye contact on a daily basis. So
Yeah, I'll never forget the great photo that I got of you. I won't share it. I won't share it here
that's fair.
publicly, but
Thank you.
it is interesting. Very candid, very
Yep.
candid. Probably
Yeah.
get you put in jail, but we won't do that.
I don't know about jail, but it's not great.
You'd be on a list for sure.
Fair enough. Whatever.
Right. But yeah, we work together. A lot of fun.
Yep.
Axelrad
Yeah.
screen printing.
Yep.
But yeah, let's get back to your yeah. So I said content creator, music producer, production type of thing.
Mhm.
Dad, overall likable guy. Let's say that.
Let's put husband in there. If you
Husband,
don't,
of course.
husband as well.
I
I'm a husband.
I said hi to your wife a couple weeks back.
I'll kick your ass.
Well,
Don't
she
talk
said,
to my
well,
wife.
she she actually asked me if I was the guy that was getting roasted in the comments on one of your videos. I said, yes,
Yeah,
that would be me. That would be me.
it's the guy.
But talk to me a little bit about. Well, first of all, real quick, this today is February 1st. I want to get that out of the way because this probably won't be released for a week or two. So just frame a reference from that point. It is February 1st. So once this is released, many things could have happened between now and then. We'll have the Super Bowl. We'll have, that's going to be a disaster. Taylor Swift's taking over the world. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
But I want to talk to you about your online character.
Okay.
How did this all start? I mean, you've got I think over 27,000 followers on Instagram. You have a little over, about almost 70,000 on TikTok. I noticed you're following
Hmm.
666 people on TikTok. Is that on purpose?
A little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I called you out there. It's not an
Yeah.
accident, folks. Not an
That's fair.
accident, folks.
No, it was intentional.
But I mean, Instagram, TikTok, I mean, you're really leaning into this character you've created and people love him and hate him.
Yeah. It's I definitely commit to the bit. Um, it's one of those things where there's like so many different types of people that are in those comment sections. You get the people that get the joke and they're in on it and they're like, this is funny. There's the people that aren't in on it, but they think that the content is actually like fucking cool. They're like, yeah, it's badass. Then you get the people that don't get the bit, and then they're angry about what they're viewing, and then we have a conversation where they're like, they actually think that I'm some 30-year-old guy that lives in his parents' basement, and that's okay, because that's the whole part of the bit. And as you found out, the people that watch and interact with my videos are degenerates sometimes, to
The
say the
lowest
least.
of the low.
Yeah, and I love them all.
Of course, of course. And I mean, as much as like they attacked me, you know, I'll give it to them. You know, they were, while most of them were wrong, 99% of them were wrong. It is what it is. But describe, in case my audience doesn't know who ClayxScott is, right? Tell us a little bit about this character.
Basically, it's a mix between uh basically the kid that I thought I was when I was like, I don't know, 11, 12, like late 90's, early 2000s, when, Jinkos and, the flame button ups and the with the dragons and shit on it. Like, I thought I was so badass back then. So it's a mix of like kind of a nostalgic throwback to that. And then I've also leaned into this like monster energy obsessed, like Kyle type character. um and they all just kind of mix into one, and that's basically my content, is just a lot of intentional cringe, um satire that is not always so obvious to people, which gets me into like really funny interactions with people. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just me being a degenerate online, um, and just making people feel weird about it.
I mean, I love it because I know what it is, right?
Yeah. Oh
Um,
yeah.
but I mean, as much as you have this monster Kyle character, you do drink quite a bit of
I
monster
I do.
at
That's
work.
that. Oh, I absolutely. So that part isn't the most untrue thing. I do drink a lot of Monster. That is my go-to energy drink. Um, so that part, I guess, is true. I really do love Monster Energy. Um, but the walls in my house are untouched. Not one hole. Um, I don't beat my wife,
That's good. That's good.
my kid, or anyone. Yeah, so I guess I'm somewhat that character, but it's a
Uh,
very big over exaggeration of
Right. I
me.
I don't I couldn't tell you the last time I had a monster. Is monster any good?
It's fucking great. It's great. And I think that it's only right if during this podcast you drink a Monster.
Oh,
So
you brought me a monster.
I brought you a fucking Monster,
Oh,
John.
okay.
Here.
Thank you. Okay.
Cheers, bud.
I mean, it is 9 o'clock at night. I don't know that I should be drinking this late.
I think you should. I think you should.
I mean, can I add alcohol to it?
You do whatever the fuck you want with the Monster Energy.
Is that how it works? Like once I have this, like I can do whatever I want, what I want.
Once you unleash the beast, there's no going back.
Oh, how many sugars we got in this thing? Is there like a diet version or a no sugar version?
There are no sugar versions. I gave you the no sugar version, or I gave you the
Oh, you
version
gave
that has
me.
lots of sugar in it.
Wait, it says total sugars 54 grams. That's a lot of sugar.
That is a lot of sugar.
Includes 54 grams added sugars. So they literally add it to. Oh, okay. Let's talk about this. Uh, ingredients. Second ingredient is sugar.
Yeah, but it's got all like kinds of good vitamins and stuff in it, as you can see.
Oh yeah, let's go down
Yeah,
that
so it's
list.
like
What I can't even say.
it's healthy for you.
Now, if I strike my wife tonight or my children, is that like is that okay? Since I'm not used to this kind of
It's only okay if you get it on video and you post it to your social media.
oh my God. That tastes like that tastes
Full
like
dis Tastes like what, John?
that tastes like when I used to do like Vegas bombs when I was like 22 years old at the bar.
Full disclosure, I drink the sugar-free ones now because it's too much sugar. It's
Give yourself diabetes.
yeah, yeah, that's
Mm,
awesome.
my goodness. I don't know if I can do this. It's like it's too much. It's way too much.
If you're a
Just so
bitch.
happens that I have some vodka here, so I'm gonna just so
Oh man.
happens I'm gonna add. I might as well like get a little buzz while I'm getting diabetes.
Well, I'm drinking the Beast Unleashed.
Get up. What
So
is that all about?
that is
Holy God.
Hard Monster. It's Hard Monster.
Oh, so you got all right. So, and am I correct in saying that they've removed the caffeine from
Correct.
that?
Yeah, there's no caffeine in this. It's
Because then
just
you'd be drinking like
alcohol.
Four Locos, basically.
Yeah, so that I don't think you can do that anymore. I think that's frowned upon. So
Dude, this is
yeah.
bad. Oh my God. I might have a heart attack tonight. What if I have a heart attack tonight?
Fuck yeah. That'd be sick.
But I mean, you get a lot of engagement.
Yeah.
Uh, like talk to me about how you've grown this channel because or channels, I should say. Like I said, you're on Instagram and your bigger platform is TikTok. I mean, did you just blow up one time over like one video, or has this just been a constant thing you've been at, or how does that work? Because I can't get engagement for shit, dude. The most engagement
It
I've got on the internet is when I fucking commented on your shit.
fair. Yeah, no, it initially was just on accident. It was like it was the Heelys stuff. I started posting, just dumb Heelys videos, and those started like blowing up. So I leaned into the Healy stuff. And then, but I didn't want to just do Healy stuff. So like the Healy stuff were like skits with like some kind of little storyline with the dialogue based around some catchphrase with Heelys, like I wear Heelys to escape my feelies and shit like that. And that shit blew up, and the Healy stuff went crazy for like a couple years. And then I decided I didn't want to do the Healy stuff really anymore. So I got off social media for like a while. I wasn't making videos, doing other stuff. Then I had made my page a fucking meme page for a while. Then I was just like making music for like and just doing that. And then it's just like 2 weeks ago I decided to start making videos again and started doing the fucking 90's, early 2000s, like new metal kid and the Kyle over exaggeration. And it's been working. Um, I think that level of like cringe and then like unclear satire is just like also coupled with the music is just like I don't know, it's just like a recipe for people to one relate to it, especially like kids who have like grew up in the early like in the 90's, early 2000s. Like it's fucking relatable. You see a kid in like Jinkos and those shirts and you're like, yo, I remember that shit. Like that's, what I mean, you instantly relate to it. And then some of it makes you cringe because you're like, I can't tell if this guy is being like, is this really how this guy is he like really living like in his mom's basement, like, you know what I mean? So it's like I think there's so many layers to it that just is like the perfect like mix that just makes people like engage with it. So I don't think anything super calculated. I don't think I'm doing anything super unique or overly talented. I think I'm just doing what is working, and it's working really well right now. So it's
But
fine.
this stuff takes a lot of time. Like it's a 30-second video or whatever it might be, but it doesn't take 30 seconds to produce. I mean, there's different recordings. There's, you have to edit them together. Like, I mean, it takes some time. Like, I mean, you're
Yeah,
a busy guy, working,
yeah,
husband, father.
yeah.
Where do you find the time to do all this?
I I think you're overestimating how much time I actually spend on it. Like it really doesn't, like, especially because I'm not doing anything crazy, it really doesn't take a whole lot. Like there's been times like me and my wife will be sitting on the couch and there'll be just kind of like a moment we're chilling and I'll have an idea and I'll be like, hold on one sec, I got an idea. Fucking throw the Jinkos on real quick, put the shirt on and a 15-second clip, and then I'll the idea that I'll have, the text over it and everything, and it's done. I don't do anything overly complicated. I don't do anything that elaborate. So it really isn't that hard. And um I don't think I would be able to because I am busy. I have a kid who has a busy schedule. I have an actual life outside of like making videos. This is just a hobby, something that was fun to do that took off and I'm just kind of running with it. But um no, it really doesn't like consume that much of my time um at all.
Maybe I'm just old then, because it to me it seems like it would take you days. Now, do you have like Jenko jeans and stuff like on the end table, like where I would have a beer? You have like this little pile like ready to go.
I mean, I have my clothes all together, yes. Um but yeah, and then that's another thing is like I love I do love the nostalgia of these things, and I do love, going to the thrift store and finding like shirts that I wore when I was a kid, like think like that style. Like I collect stuff like that because I love the nostalgia of it, and also it works for my content. So, excuse me, I've
Unleash the
seen people in
beast.
comments. Yeah, I've unleashed the beast a little bit too much, but yeah, no, I see people like, yeah, like I get this as a joke, but really like you really have that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I do because it's the same as like for me, it's same collecting Pokemon cards and old video game consoles and shit like that. Like I love nostalgia, and I think a lot of people do, and I think that's why the shit that I do is so relatable to people is because I think we all become like miserable, depressed adults who are just
Jaded,
kind of like,
jaded
yeah.
people. Yeah.
And I think if even for like, like 30 seconds, you can visually like go back in time and like be a kid, like in your brain, be a kid again and like think about that, like how like sick sleepovers were when you were like a kid and stuff like that. Like, I just think it's very relatable. And I think nostalgia is a very strong drug. Um, and I'm not ashamed to admit that.
No, it's the best though. I mean, you always think when you hear stuff like that oh, people get stuck in the past, right? Like let it go, like grow up. It's like,
Yeah.
but there's something to be said about a simpler time, right? Like when you had nothing to
Oh,
worry
yeah.
about except for like the homework that you didn't give a shit about, or like
Hmm.
does the girl that sits two rows over like me? Um, am I gonna look cool walking up to the pencil sharpener with my new shoes on, and people are gonna notice that, that's a simpler time. I mean, like,
Yeah.
and especially nowadays too, because we're so inundated with all this content, whether it be social media, news, things like that. It's just like it's a nice escape to kind of just be like, I wish I can go back there and just when it was like simple.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with as an adult admitting that, like, if I could go back and fucking relive like my childhood and like do that shit all over again, like you would in a heartbeat.
Now,
You know what I mean? Like,
would you want to do it knowing what you know now, or would you just want to like just do it again?
Nah, like I would just want to go back. If I knew what I know now, you know what I mean? I think you would rethink things, like I would want to go in with the childlike like naivety of like
The
not
innocence.
understanding, yeah, not understanding anything, because I think we get older and we're like, wow, like things were fucking awesome. And then we were angsty about things. And then
Yeah.
you get older and you learn what like real angst is, like
Yeah.
what real shitty situations are. So um yeah, no, I love collecting things from like the past. I even like I even vintage clothes, t-shirts, hats, things like that. Like I just think I
You
think
come
it's
to
all
work in
sick.
some you come to work in some like old school stuff sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm obsessed with the thrift. I love thrifting. I love finding old, shirts from the 90's or, early 2000s. I think a lot of that was also made better. Like, like I think like finding an old like just real heavy like quality fucking t-shirt with like some sick like old NASCAR shirt or something. Like
Marlboro cigarettes.
yeah, yeah. I have a fucking Marlboro tracksuit. So all red tracksuit. And then I think about like the person that was just smoking cigarette after cigarette, just putting in the hours, collecting the fucking Marlboro points to get that tracksuit, and then I buy it at the thrift for like $7,
That
So
person's probably dead.
yeah, and I thank them for their service because it's one of my favorite things that I own.
I never even thought about that before. Like, you know, can you imagine a world? I mean, like I remember my parents, my dad smoked. My mom smoked a K like she smoked and she quit, but like they had a Marlboro cassette tape with like artists on it that I remember as a kid like listening to.
I have, oh, I don't think I have it in here. I have the box for it.
Okay.
It's down. It's a lantern. It's like a little mini like lantern for like camping and shit.
Okay.
That I got it at a yard sale for like $2. Um, it's downstairs because our power went out recently, and I told Amber that my wife that we were gonna need it at some point, and our power went out one night, and guess
You're like,
what I went
see,
and got? Guess what I
see,
went and got? I went out and ran up immediately and got this, and I said, I told you we were gonna need this fucking lantern. So
best $2 ever spent.
yeah, but no, I love old shit. I love all that vintage stuff. I love old Marlboro stuff. Um,
I love the idea of
there's a
just thinking about
there's a old Marlboro picture from like 1984 or something. It's from the 80's. It's from an old like magazine or something that's up there. But yeah, no, I love old shit. It's awesome.
I love the thought of that. Like I never thought of this before. Like that person who was earning those points to get that fucking lantern is most
Oh yeah.
likely dead.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Huh. Or that shirt or whatever it might be. And you
Yeah.
can't do that now. Can you imagine people trying to bribe people to smoke more cigarettes these days in 2024? Smoke more cigarettes. We're gonna give you coupons for cool
No.
shit.
I mean, I they would probably do it for like with like vapes and stuff now, but
I don't know if they can even do that these days. I
I don't
mean,
really know. I don't do any of that shit anymore. So I don't know. I've
same,
not
but
yet.
I'm just like think about that now. Like just like what a different and it's only been 30 years, 40 years, like probably longer than that. But I'm saying like since we were kids, like little kids.
Yeah, when we were kids, we smoked cigarettes like real badasses. We didn't vape. We smoked our
Yeah.
parents' real cigarettes.
Dead butts. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. My mom would do that. She would like ash out a cigarette that was like half done. She'd like put it back in her pack. And it's like that's the worst fucking smell ever is
Yeah.
like a ashed out cigarette that's like not done yet. And they just put it's the
Save it.
worst. Yeah, it's terrible.
It's
The
kind of good
worst.
though. If like you're like on a budget, right? Like I'm gonna this this pack of 20 cigarettes will now be like 40. You get
Yeah,
those
but it
long ones, those
smells.
hundreds.
Oh yeah, that's there's like the Virginia Super Slims.
Yeah.
Just fucking just big. It's ridiculous, ridiculous.
Oh man, I'll never forget when because like growing up when I was young, like it was like the point where they told you like cigarettes are bad, they will kill you. This is your brain on drugs, eggs in a frying pan type shit.
Yep.
And I remember finding out that my fourth grade teacher smoked cigarettes. These are people who are telling us like, "Oh, this stuff is bad. Don't do this and don't do that." I remember we saw his car. His name is Mr. Mesa. I don't even know if he's still alive. I don't think he is. R.I.P. But we went to his car was parked in the back of the school, and we had recess out the back of the school. And we went down by his car, and we peeked. I remember peeking over into the window and seeing the ashtray just full, packed full of
Yep.
cigarettes. And it was like life was over. I was devastated. We were all devastated. We couldn't believe it.
I feel like I remember like my dad and like our baseball coaches like smoking cigarettes like on the field, like while they're coaching, like just smoking a cigarette and like fucking throwing batting practice. You know what I mean? Like, and we no one thought like anything of it. It's just funny to look back at that shit.
It is. And I was very naive, I think, as a kid growing up. Like looking back now and kind of remembering moments like this, I can be like, oh yeah, that was going on. That wasn't okay. But back then I was like, I didn't think anything of it. I just kind of like looked past it.
Yeah, no, I learned a lot like young. I started like the kids in my neighborhood were all older. So I started hanging out with like older kids like really young. So I learned about a lot of shit like early on, and then it definitely shaped me being like a kind of a scumbag kid. So
I was sheltered. I grew up in the country, sheltered life, small school size, small class size. Yeah, I
yeah,
didn't have
no,
older friends. I had friends that were my age. I was the firstborn too, so like I probably got a little bit more extra attention.
yeah,
But you have this nostalgia aspect to your content and things like that, and you bring that into the year that is 2024 and what the internet's all about. And I mean, I keep saying all the time that the internet is a blessing and a curse. Um, I mean, I can order a pizza right now from my phone. It'll be here in 15 minutes. No big deal. It's fucking great, right? We're doing
yep,
this across the
yeah.
internet. Wonderful technology, right? But there's scum that live on the internet.
There really is, and I see it every day,
Yeah,
and
let's talk about the interaction and some of your followers that we came across. I remember I saw this. It was a video of you. Essentially, you're this adult man child, and your parents want you to take out the trash, and you're mad, and you're punching the trash can. There's a 3 Days Grace song playing in the background.
yep,
Is it called Home? Right, Home.
yeah, yeah,
And great song. I love that song. I love again going back to what you said before. I love the music from back then too. I'll say it. I love Creed. I love Nickelback. I love 3 Days Grace. I love all that shit. But so it was a very funny video, right? It portrays this guy who his parents asked him to take out the garbage, and you're like, "Fuck you, mom. Fuck you, dad. Whatever."
hmm
And again, I knew it was what it was, and I remember I was going to comment on it, but I knew better. I knew better. I'm like, I'm not going to do this because I'm gonna get attacked. And then I saw you the next day at
yeah,
work, and I said I was going to comment on this with this, and you're like, "Oh, I don't know, dude." I'm like, "I'm going to do it now," and you're like, "Well, get ready." And
yeah,
the beast was unleashed, and I
yeah,
have I so, so it lasted for days. I made a comment on it like I should have screen grabbed my comment, but the comment was along the lines of, "Hey," oh, and then you were doing like finger guns to your head, like
yep,
I want to kill myself, but before I do this task my parents asked me to do. And I'm like, hey man, my son looks up to you and you got to pull out the finger guns implying suicide or, things like that. And I said, be better. And that just opened the doors for, oh wait, here. I did get it. Yo, man, my son really looks up to you. Why you got to be doing the finger guns to the head stuff, insinuating suicide? Be better. And the people came out.
Yeah.
The people
Be
came out to defend. People came after me as a person. They came after my kid who wasn't even like involved. My kid's 6. He's not on the internet. For anyone who is watching this, he's not on the internet. This was a joke to a joke.
to be fair,
Ruthless.
in their defense, because one, I do appreciate they fucking rode for me in that moment. They
They
were
did.
like, you know what? You're not gonna talk to him like that. Fuck this guy. But to be fair, if you didn't know, like if you initially saw the comment and you didn't know it was a joke, I feel like a lot of people's initial reaction would be like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? We're on Instagram. There's a grown man he's making a video like this, and you're bringing your kid, like you're like, my kid looks up to you. So I understand the initial like, yo, this guy is, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? But after me and you started going back and forth, the fact that people didn't see it was a joke after that was
Right.
what was like more like concerning to me. But to be fair, again, I need those people. I need those people that don't understand too, because that's just as much of like what's funny behind a lot of my videos. If everyone understood it and was in on it and just laughed at it, like I don't think it would be as as meaningful to me as the other half of people that like think they're watching like an actual like video, you
Yeah.
know. So
Well,
I love the people that love what I do, and I love the degenerates that hate what I do too, because they're just as entertaining.
well, they're
But
they're
they,
they're feeding the machine. They're feeding the
yeah,
machine. I
yeah,
mean,
I
I don't.
yeah,
I think what happened too was, so I think this went on for like 3 or 4 days, maybe three. It felt like a week, but
it was a while, yeah,
it felt like a long time. And at some point, I started commenting back, and nothing like mean back to people. I would just like if they said like, "Oh, it's a joke, dude." I'm like, "No way, really?" Um, and then it just kind of got worse and worse. I'm like, "All right, dude, I'm gonna stop responding." And when I stopped responding, like I took a day off, and it got worse. It got worse, and I think people only saw my initial comment, and that's all I saw. They couldn't even see the thread of the I don't know how many
there was
comments there
like there
were.
was probably 100 comments by the time it ended, and that's exactly what happened. What happened is towards the bottom we were like, yo, like, you know, we know each other, whatever, like we're gonna do an episode, whatever, fine. But no one saw that.
No one saw that.
You only saw that if you were one of those people that really wanted to read the entire thread. All anyone ever saw from you was that initial comment. So everyone's knee jerk reaction was like, yo,
Fuck this
fuck
guy.
you, fuck your kid.
Dude,
Like,
let's I mean, dude, even some of your comments that you responded to me with got 589 likes.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
this one guy or a person, I'm just gonna call them persons because I don't know who they are, or I can't tell from their profile picture. And these days, you can't really dictate, what it is.
That's all. And I will add, you'll notice a lot of people, the people that say the worst shit to you are like blank, usually like empty profiles.
That's also true. So because I would click on, it, I'm like, I want to see what this person's all about. Like,
Yeah,
what is who are you? And they would have one follower. They'd have no pictures. You could tell it was just an account that they could sit there and talk shit with. It
yeah.
was, which is incredible, right? Like, I wish I had the time. I wish I had the time.
It's usually
But
like a guy with the American flag profile picture. His name's like Big Mother Trucker 68 or something. Like it's never like a real like person that's ever like saying the worst shit to you.
yeah, so let's read a couple of these because these are funny. Dude, chill. It's parody. You said, "Why don't you invite me on your podcast and say it to my face, you coward?" Well, here we are.
That
That's funny.
was the
Uh,
opening. Yeah.
here's your favorite. Ziggy Sawdust 615. Tell your son to get stuffed.
Dude, I love that. Immediately, that was the first one I saw, and I was like, all right, here we like this is gonna get so good. Oh my god.
Tell
So
your
funny.
son to get. And I'm like, I'm not even mad. Like I'm like, they attacked my son out of like
Dude.
I'm like whatever. It's the internet. It's fine. Like I'm old enough to understand, right? But like that's what's even worse though. There's like people out there who are young children, 15, 14, whatever they are. They're involved in these muddy waters, and they don't know
Yeah.
what's real and what's not. That's what's scary.
Yeah.
I said, bro, you can't even handle wheeling out a trash can, and you want to have words. Uh, he said, bro, once my parents fall asleep and I can sneak out, I'm gonna come there and duct tape pieces of shit to your garage door. Um,
Which is a it's a that's kind of homage to the movie Haggard, which is a movie like Bam Margera and all the
yes,
CKY guys made when they went over to Glorin's house and they or Hellboy and they duct taped piece of shit to the garage door. So
dude,
that was like I quoted that.
I didn't even put it together. I saw that movie for the first time. We were in Atlantic City for work with Axelrad,
So it's
and
so
Maloney was.
bad
I
good,
think, oh, we watched it probably 3 or 4 times. Me,
dude.
Maloney,
So
Butchery.
good.
Yeah. This person was like, "Hey, Popko, fingers crossed you're joking." I was obviously. Let's see some other good stuff. Oh, I like this one from me to you. I said, "I bet you drink Bud Light, looking like Kid Rock over there."
Which is a comment I get a lot on my stuff is
Yeah, I
that
mean, I didn't mean it in a way, in a kind of way. I just was trying to
I
like
wasn't I
get in
wasn't
the.
hurt by it.
No, of course. I mean, we know where we stand.
Yeah.
Um, I hope your kid shits his pants on the way to school tomorrow, and then you're never fully able to get the shit smell out of your car.
I was proud of that. I liked that one.
That's good. And then I said, I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast, quoting Happy Gilmore.
Yep.
Uh, and people kind of got that, and people didn't. Um,
I noticed people were commenting back the comeback like you eat pieces of shit for breakfast.
yes, they got it, which was good. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I was told I'm soft as fuck. I'm now invested in this thread. Please don't leave. Call Scranton man another mean word. Uh,
I don't know where the Scranton man thing came from
I don't know
because
if they realized that was from Scranton. I don't know.
I don't oh I think they were talking about me. I think they were calling like
Oh,
you were
maybe. Oh,
I
yeah.
think
Okay.
they were telling you to tell me, but which is also weird because I don't know anywhere where I've ever been like I'm from Scranton or anything like that. I don't know. That was a weird one to me. But yeah, I don't know.
And then there's also these middle of the road things with some of these people where there are people who like the thing that you're doing a parody of, or the person you're pretending to be.
Yeah.
People are like, "Oh, that was me. Like my life was terrible." Like this one person, I was 12 doing the gun to the head shit constantly because I thought I was edgy, but I also had mental illness struggles. I'm like, holy shit, like we're getting deep here.
Yeah, that happened. So that video, which is funny because that video is like an updated version of a video I did in like 2021. I think I actually went back and looked. It was in 2021 to that same song. It wasn't the same like scene that played out, but it was me being like equally dramatic and angsty. And like the text was like, me pretending my life sucks because my parents are asking the bare minimum of me. And it was to that song. It was making fun of myself as a young angsty teenager because a lot of us didn't have really anything to be like, upset about, but we're shitheads. So we were angsty kids. And on that initial video, there was people that were like upset about it because they did have like terrible upbringings, and like that song was
Meant
like,
something. Yeah.
yeah. So like they started accusing me of like, you're mocking people with trauma, and it got messy. It did get messy. People were like not happy about it, and I'm like, listen, I understand like where you're coming from, but like I'm making fun of myself for
Mhm.
being like, like an angsty teenager. And so that was like a whole thing. And then so even the new video, there was people that commented, it's like, yeah, like, no, like I like this song, but it's because I actually had like a terrible life. And
Which is
like
sad.
it's definitely sad,
Sucks.
but at the same time, I don't think that's the like that's not what we're not doing that here. Like, where I, what I mean, like I'm making fun of.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're doing that, but it's sad to know that there's people
Yeah,
that
no,
like
no, no, no,
have,
for sure.
yeah.
I'm just saying, like, listen,
But couldn't
that's
everyone be offended by something? That's the problem with the way things are today. There's the internet. There's people can hide behind keyboards and screens, and everyone's offended by something. Like it's just too much. It's over the top.
not even directly related to people being like offended, but like I think social media has made people think that their opinion about things matters more than it actually does. And I see
Yeah.
that every day with people that comment on my videos. Like fucking paragraphs, on a video about like just the stupidest, like fucking dumbest thing from like, you know, uh about like my childhood or something. And I'm like, yeah, like you think that your opinion matters a lot more than it does. And it's just, I don't know, it's interesting. It's really, it's weird.
Yeah, well, they do say that there's a quote or a thing that the idiots yell the loudest or something like that. I don't know, but that's true. I
Is that
mean,
why you yell so loud at work like
all the
all day?
time because I'm such an
Yeah.
idiot. But no, like
Yeah.
I mean, I would never have commented on this video if I didn't know you and we didn't have this like grand
Yeah.
plan. Really, like there was no plan either. It was just like, hey, I'm going to comment on this video. You're like, okay, good luck. I'm like, all right, let's see what happens. And
Yeah.
uh, and then well, people came after you as me as a parent, which I mean, that's probably like the best thing that they could have done if this was real and I was like letting my son look up to you as a like you like this character you
Yeah.
that's probably a problem, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
When you look at it, like if the people that thought you were being serious, then yeah.
yeah
If you were being serious, I probably would have been like, yo, the fuck is this guy is a fucking lunatic.
yeah
But
yeah
but it's also um interesting, not even interesting, it's just amazing that like the lack of ability to watch something or read things and not be able to like put it all together and understand what's going on.
like just react. It's like when you read
Yeah.
headlines of a news story, like there's so much clickbait out there, all that kind of shit. It's gross. um This is a good one. Your son is going to be so mad at you for attacking his new dad. Uh, Popko, you're better off alone. Oh, then there's this guy, Jeremy, that kind of came
Did
to my
is this the
rescue.
guy? The guy, yes, the guy that Trump wanted to like pull up and fight me.
Yeah.
Is that the one we're talking about?
Yeah.
That was
Where
sick.
are you at? I'll say it. And I don't know if he was kidding. He may have been. I don't know. But you're like, oh, do you know
I
that guy? I'm like, I don't know a clue.
I thought it was a friend of yours that was like,
No. Yeah. Where are you at? I'll say it to your face. Watch the way you punch that garbage can. Can clearly tell that you don't have what it takes. Um, oh my God, it's so much. It's so
so
much
that
stuff.
that was I liked that interaction because and this is the interaction I have with a lot of people. He commented that, I believe, and maybe if not, then he got me at my own game. I'll admit it. I took that comment 100% serious, thinking that he thought I was being 100% serious. So I commented back, still in character, right? I don't remember exactly what I said. It was something like, "You're not even on my radar, bud. It's between me and the podcast guy." And then he
I have it.
replied back, "Oh, you
I
have
have
it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not even on my radar, bud. This is between me and the podcast guy. That was good.
I mean,
Almost,
I said it, so
dude, I say things all day. I don't know what I said, but that was great.
so
It was almost word for word. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, but then I said that and he came back, which I don't remember what he basically
You act hard and dress like a manga character. See, when I have beef with a person, I direct message them.
which is also weird. Like what? What?
What is that
First,
gonna do?
because he opened with saying that he was gonna pull up and say to my face,
Yeah.
but then he like came back with like, yeah, like we were like real men who handle it with like a private message.
Yeah.
So that contradicted itself, but um those are those moments where someone will comment something to me. I'll comment back in character. They'll comment back again, and I'll realize we're having two different conversations. They think they're having a real conversation with some degenerate 40-year-old guy that lives in his mom's basement. And I'm sitting on the couch with my wife. Like we're having two different conversations. It's amazing. And I think you have to be like okay, like committing to the bit of the stuff that I do. Like you have to be okay with someone commenting on your video or someone looking at your video and like thinking that like there's probably thousands of people on social media right now that have scrolled past my video and think that I'm a 40-year-old man who lives in his mom's basement and drinks Mountain Dew and Monster Energy and doesn't have a job, and I'm okay with that because it's part of the bit. And that's,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? And you have to be okay with having a back and forth with someone and then knowing that you guys just left that conversation and they still think that the bit is like a real thing. So
Yeah. Yeah, we'll read some more about of these and we'll be done with it. But they started coming after me. Welcome your stupid son to the real world. Go back to your failure of a podcast that not one other person has. I was like, okay. So that's what this whole thing could have got dark for me. Like if I was let it to, like I was like, they attacked my son. They attacked what like I love to do, which is the podcast, and like it was like again, if I was like a weak person, I could have gone down a bad road. Which
it's very easy to get lost in the sauce of the comments.
DJ Lori,
Yeah. Shout out DJ.
and then
DJL.
at one point you're like, I said, should we stop this? You said this was fun. Go follow my friend, the Popko Project, and stay tuned for a future podcast. Here we are. Your son is on Instagram, and the middle finger is the issue. You're the problem. This guy used a bunch of letters to get his point across. JFC, dude. What an L comment. Guaranteed your son knows all about the middle finger. Or no, I'm sorry. Knows all about the finger guns. He probably says bad words too. Uh, it's just so much. Telling a stranger on the internet they need to parent your child better for you. That's a problem. Oh, here's a person we talked about earlier. This really bothers me too. I don't think there's anything funny about certain things, rape, suicide, etc. But but I know that's not. I know that's my personal belief, and not everyone will agree with me. I'm like, oh man, you went far. Like that sucks. Like this is one of my
I,
favorite ones. uh, and Julianne. It's not, and it doesn't look like a girl's. It's JOOLIANNNNN. Popko, I want you. Everyone else is mad, but I can't stop thinking about your caked up body. I bet it glistens.
I never saw this one.
Let me find out. Commit a crime. I'm perked. I'm my perked little ass. If you were a better father,
What?
your son wouldn't need to look up the social media content creators. Your son's a snowflake.
Classic insult.
What are you gonna do when? Yeah, snowflake's the best, right? What's he gonna do when you can't protect him from Instagram memes? Tell your kid to grow some balls. Why are you soft? Bro, you are dense. Maybe look, maybe make yourself the role model as a father, not social media influencers. Could you imagine writing to Netflix to censor adult movies for your child when there's a very obvious children's section? Yeah, I know, right? He should put the finger guns in his mouth. That's a way better to do it. Oh.
I don't know how to take that. I don't know if
He's like, that way,
I
like,
don't,
definitely kill yourself, basically, if you want
yeah. Okay, thanks, man.
to.
What's his username? I'll send him a t-shirt or something to thank him for.
uh, I mean, this is just a quick. Oh my gosh, the Celtics lost to the Lakers. The Lakers didn't even have LeBron James or Anthony Davis. Unbelievable. Sorry.
Unbelievable. It's fine. I don't
Unbelievable.
watch basketball, but it's
Okay.
okay.
Well, that's all of the screen grabs I took. And there were so many, and I was just like,
There
oh, I'm
was
just gonna take a couple of these, but that's what's scary though. And I mean, like I say that scary because we have two. Well, you have a young child. He's what,
yeah,
10, 12,
12. Yeah.
12. I have a 6 year old. I have an 18-month-old. Like it's scary because this is, you're younger than I am. I basically lived half my life with the internet and half of it without it, right?
Right.
So by the time it was like really prevalent, like I was of an age where I understood what reality and what fiction was. But these
Yeah.
kids growing up today, like all they have the internet the day they're born, right? My daughter and my son can use the phone better than I can. And I'm sure your son is the same way with his probably he's got tablets and shit like that.
Yeah.
But like it's scary to think about as a parent, like, you know, and navigate those waters. And fortunately for me, mine are still very little, but I'm sure that's probably a space where you kind of have to really monitor and kind of have those real conversations with your son.
Oh, 100%. It's weird because like I remember in the 90's as a kid, like how limited the internet, there wasn't like social media like it is now. Everything wasn't so much at your fingertips. And I think of all the trouble I still got in on the internet. Now it's like amplified by a fucking million. Um, and then he's online, he's playing his games and stuff like that. And it's just like you constantly have to monitor that shit because there's always just fucking weird people out there.
Right.
You're trying to take advantage of a situation. So yeah, I deal with that shit every day, and I try to, um, drill it in his head that you don't know who the fuck is on the other end of anything on social media. Nothing's, or even on your game, like nothing's real. Nobody's really who they say they are. Like it is really like scary.
Now, is he receptive to, you saying these things, or is he a typical kid where he's like, yeah, yeah, dad thinks he knows everything. Like I'm a man, I know what's right and all that kind of shit.
No, he listens pretty like well about it. He's like I said, he's 12, so he's like he's still kind of like innocent kid, but he's like growing out of that. So I know, it's gonna be not very long when he's gonna be like, yeah, whatever, dad, like you can't tell me anything, like whatever, like so I haven't hit that. We haven't hit that yet, but I know it's coming.
That's
And I
probably what
was
a teen thing, right?
yeah, and I know and I was just I was a terrible like scumbag kid. So like I'm hoping that I don't get some kind of karma for that, and then he's like, "Yo, fuck you, dad!" Like, and doing the shit I did. So we'll see.
Do you
But
think it helps because like I've seen that you've had him in some videos and things like that. Do you think it helps to kind of like show him that like, hey, that this like, yeah, I'm your dad and I'm doing these goofy things, but like this, I mean, it's like shit out there is not real. Like, do you think that helps to a degree?
I don't know if it helps. I mean, maybe, but um, I limit like his interaction
Okay.
on like he doesn't have any like social media or anything. He doesn't have Instagram. He has Snapchat where he talks to his buddies and stuff, but I monitor that like a hawk. Me and his mom are like every day like, keeping tabs on that because that's like the worst um just for like kids like gossip and like dumb shit because people naturally think like Snapchat's like this like thing you can hide behind because Snapchat's always been like, you know, send a picture, it disappears and stuff like that. So I think people just like have this natural like comfort of like, oh, I can say whatever the fuck I want in this app. You know what I mean? So
Screen grabs, man.
yeah.
Can you do that on?
But
I've that's one social media app that I've never got involved. I've never once signed up for it. Never once had it.
I haven't had personally my own Snapchat in like I don't know years, but um as far like when I had, I remember it was always like if you screenshotted someone's thing, it literally told you so
They
and so
notified.
screenshotted it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but um, like so he has it. Talked to some of his friends, and then like his sports teams. Like he's in wrestling now, so his wrestling team has a group chat for the team. But fuck, man. Um,
The
we
beast.
yeah, the beast. But like I said, me and his mom, like we monitor that shit like every day because one, kids are assholes,
Mm.
and you just can't trust anyone. So
Yeah, my son is in kindergarten now, and I remember when he was little, I said to my wife, we have it easy. This is easy. Like we there's no outside influences. There's nothing. Like this is easy
yeah,
shit here. It's gonna get hard when he gets into school and there's outside influences. And well, Jimmy's doing this or Jimmy watches this, and I
yeah,
mean even he's in kindergarten. There's a kid talking about Michael Myers. And I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
yeah. He was Colton was one of the last kids like his age to get a phone, like a he like an actual phone. He had a tablet for a while and stuff, but um I wasn't in a hurry for him to like jump into all that shit because um I mean there's its positives, but there's also a lot of negatives to it. But so he was one of the last people to of his age, like kids of his age, to get a phone and shit. Um, but yeah, it's just I don't know. It's a hard thing to navigate, especially when it's hard for me to like navigate through it when I'm like, oh, Mr. Social Media, you know what I mean? And I try to tell him like this, that, and it's like, yeah, but Dad,
A
you're like on,
superstar.
yeah, like I'm in his and to him, I'm famous.
Right.
I'm not famous, but like to a kid, you see that and you're like, yeah, you're fucking famous. But so it's
Do you,
hard. It's like a weird thing to navigate through to tell them like, oh, social media is bad, but I use it every day. So it's I don't know, it's weird.
right. It is weird. But like you've also been able to use it to, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but like, financially gain. And I'm not saying you're making millions a month or a year, but a couple bucks here and a couple bucks there. And
Yeah.
Also having these these companies reach out, and I think you got some Healy stuff sent to you at one point. I think Monster did get back to you about something. I'm
Yeah.
not sure what happened with that, but like that's I mean, even I can understand like, a kid seeing that and being like kind of in awe of that. But even as an adult, it's kind of like, oh wow, like these big companies
Yeah.
are reacting to what I'm doing and what I'm creating. That's as even as an adult, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm even in awe about it. The
Right.
Heelys thing was so sick. Um, because as a kid, like Heelys were the shit. You know what I mean? And when they reached out and they were like, "Yo, like, well, they'll send you shoes," and like they would send me shoes like all the time. They'd send me Heelys all the time. They'd always like engage and interact back and forth with me. I remember last year, when I did like a merch drop, was selling like Heely themed like shirts. Did a merch drop. I even like did it with them where like we did a Heelys giveaway. So like anyone that bought a shirt from me was automatically entered in this giveaway. I drew a name and gave them that person's information, and they sent the Heelys to them. So like that was sick. Like if you told me when I was in like fifth grade or whatever, and I was scooting around on fucking Heelys, if like yeah, when you're like 30, Heelys is gonna like be like a brand partner of yours. You know what I mean? There's gonna be like some kind of endorsement. I'd have been like, yeah, okay, sure. You know what I mean? And even like, the bands that I use their music and stuff, like they like have responded and they'll comment or like reply to shit, and it's crazy to me. The Monster thing was also nuts. Like I was just emailing with Monster yesterday. They're like sending me shit. So like it's just like it's crazy. And the monetary is good. I mean, like obviously that's great. It's great if you can get money for doing something you like to do, but also like creating the relationships with people um is also sick, and having brands reach out to you and stuff like that's been insane. Like that's been super cool.
Yeah, I don't want to get caught up in the word influencer, right? Because it sounds kind of weird, but
I fucking hate that word because
right.
I'm not you know what I mean?
But to a degree you are, but like it's like it's a weird word, and I don't like it either. But like if you can like, and how do you what's a better word? I don't know that answer, but like if you could create these relationships with these brands and kind of like also with your followers and your audience and things like that, and like with what I do here, like my goal is to create something where as you know, I talked to a lot of bands and things like that. Like if I can get people to listen to their music or follow them or like kind of be introduced to them, that's like awesome for me. And I just found out today from a mutual friend that I guess I had on. His name's Charles Rivera. They were talking, and like he noticed like a little bump in numbers as far as like followers or streams or whatever. I'm like, that's the greatest news I had all day. Like
Yeah.
that's why I do it, because I love it. And I think in that sense, like I don't want to say I'm influencing you per se or anybody else to
Hmm.
do this, but like I would think that I'm like introducing or whatever it might be. And influence is a weird thing, but
Yeah.
I don't know what a better word is.
I don't know. Like I don't call myself an influencer. I just call myself a content creator.
Yeah.
I'm not like when I make videos, my intention is not to, I don't know, not to influence anyone. I'm literally just making the videos
You're an
that I
entertainer.
yeah. Oh yeah, entertainer. I like that.
Entertainer. I like
I
that. I
like
like that
that.
too. All right, we figured it out.
Um
We could be
but
entertainers.
yeah, the like I said, the monetary side is great, but like I'm not like cashing in like crazy. Obviously, I work, you know what I mean? We work together every day. Like I don't make money to where I can just quit my day job. Like this isn't my job, you know what I
Right.
mean? So the monetary thing is cool, but the relationship part, like we're building relationships with like brands and other people, is like the better currency to me. Like
Sure.
the brands that reach out, um from making videos, there's been a couple people that I've come in contact with who that I look up to, um that do a lot of really cool shit. um Someone I became like mutuals with on social media, guy named Brandon. He directs films and stuff like that, and he works with a lot of you know bands and actors and stuff that like are like a big influence on me in my life and the things that I do. And we've had conversations back and forth, and it's insane. And I never would have thought that like I'd be in like a position like this just from making what I consider just silly little videos on fucking TikTok and Instagram. So that's the part of social media where I think it's like so sick.
So
There's a
cool.
lot of there's a lot of bad to social media, but there's a lot of good. And I think the fact that just anybody, you know what I mean? Because I'm not doing anything special. You know what I mean? Like I was just living a normal life, and I still am, but I started making these like silly little videos, and all of a sudden I have fucking brands and people in big bands and people who are doing incredible shit with their lives, you know, like telling me like, yo, what you're doing is sick,
Mhm.
and I don't know, that's just really cool to me.
That's definitely the part of the internet that's cool because like you could,
Yeah,
I mean, it's almost limitless, right?
yeah,
It's I remember like I interviewed the lead singer of Everclear and I interviewed the lead singer of the Verve Pipe. And for people my age, huge bands, in the
yeah,
90's. And if he told 15-year-old John that he was going to interview those guys one day, he'd be like, "There's no fucking way. There's no
yeah.
way. There's not a chance."
Nuts.
So yeah, so the internet is great. It's I guess it's really how you use it. And if you can
Yeah,
block out the noise and the negativity and keep your kids away from the scary shit. I mean, it's a powerful thing. It's not going anywhere, obviously, right? So
yeah.
it is what it is. But
I had Fred Durst comment on a video like a while back, and like that was I blew my mind.
yeah,
You know what I mean? That like that's the thing that can happen. Because whether or not you can say like Limp Bizkit fucking sucks, whatever you can say, you
Limp
can't
Bizkit rules,
deny.
bro.
I fucking love Limp Bizkit,
So do I.
but you can't whatever you feel about it, you can't deny how big Limp Bizkit
Yeah.
was and is. You know what I mean? Like what the impact that they've had on everything and how big like Fred Durst. You know what I mean? Like that's insane. If
He
you
made a
told me when I was a kid that Fred Durst was gonna comment on one of your fucking videos, I'd have been like, no, no way. You're lying. You're insane. Or the other day, this is like this is probably my biggest flex ever. Adam Devine shared one of my videos on his story the other day, and I lost my mind. I
no shit.
lost my mind. Insane.
That's incredible.
Insane.
That's awesome.
And that's things like that's where social media is insane. Literally just a normal asshole making dumb videos at his house can, you know what I mean, like have that kind of reach.
Yeah.
And it's fucking nuts.
Well, I mean, I never thought that back to Limp Bizkit. I mean, Fred Durst, like he made the red hat like an iconic thing. And it wasn't
Yeah.
until Donald Trump came along and made it a different thing.
Yeah,
But I mean,
we gotta take it back. Like
backwards
it's a
red hats, man. Even
yeah,
though it said New York Yankees on it, it is what it is. Um, but I mean, going back to influence in social media, like the bad parts of it, are the the way algorithms work and um the influence that it has on people. Because again, people don't know that they don't even read into what they're looking at. They read a headline and
Yeah.
it's true and it's real and whatever it is. Like, they could say, I mean, for instance, the constant things, and it's a lot of older people that are getting caught by this, but it's like, Facebook said they're going to start charging if we don't,
Yep.
say that
Every year.
these are ours or whatever. I don't even
I do
recall what it
not
is.
give Facebook the
Right.
right
That's it.
to
That's it.
use my photos,
Yeah.
like
I saw it on Good Morning America, whatever. And it's like, you didn't see that. Like, you're just sharing shit. And it's just like, this is
it's
terrible.
it's the same as like when people read onion articles from the Onion
Sure.
and
Yeah.
think it's true. You know
That's
what I
real.
mean?
Yeah.
That's like a lot of people on social media. They see something and they think that's what they're seeing is exactly what they're seeing. There's no other context to it. There's no other possibility. Like, that's real. Like the video I posted, I don't know if you saw it, the fucking one where I was like, yo, POV, my stepdad just raised his voice at my mom for the last time.
Yes, I did.
And I like morphed into
Yes.
like, you know what I mean? It's like people watch that and like, it's probably the older demographic of people watched it and we're like, that's a real thing. That's a real video. That guy actually lives at home with his stepdad and his mom, and he really just morphed into a different person.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy shit. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
It is awesome. It is awesome. But I want to get your like I said, this is recorded February 1st. By the time this airs, the Super Bowl will have passed. We talk about the internet influence. Um, Taylor Swift has influenced the NFL for the past 6 months
That's a fair statement.
to the gain of the NFL. I mean, I think what I saw was like some kind of, it's like 300 some $1 million that, Taylor Swift has like added to the brand or the value of the NFL. I forget exactly what it was. Don't quote me, but you talk about influence, like that's
Yeah.
people like her are a big influence, especially on young uh teen girls and young girls. And I mean,
Yeah.
that's not a bad thing. I think she's never gotten into trouble. She's never like done anything bad, right? I
No.
mean, growing up, we had Madonna with her cone-shaped boobies and
Hell
stuff like
yeah.
that. So I mean, in comparison, it's not a bad role model, I guess you could say. But obviously, she's dating Travis Kelsey, member of the Kansas City Chiefs, who are playing in the Super Bowl against the 49ers. Now,
Yep.
you are a Cleveland Browns fan.
This is true.
I am a Philadelphia Eagles fan. Biggest
Yep.
collapse in probably NFL history.
Yeah, that was kind of
And
wild.
the Browns had one of the best seasons. All things considered. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
their star quarterback, who they paid too much money for, got hurt.
Yeah.
The
Yep.
running back got hurt. They bring in Joe Flacco from the couch. Does a
That
great job, right?
crazy. It was crazy.
Great season, all things considered.
Yeah.
But prediction for the Super Bowl. We'll make it now because again, this will air after the fact, so we have it recorded.
Well, I will say I am going for the 49ers.
Okay.
And the reason being, like a town over from me, there is a guy, I don't know his name, but he's the 49ers guy, right? He is a diehard 49ers fan. I will honestly, I'll probably look up he has a YouTube page. I don't remember the name of it. I'll send it to you probably tomorrow or something. I don't know. But anyway, his entire front yard is like mannequins, like the mannequins we have at work,
Mm-hmm.
like in the showroom like area, with like wigs on and everything. And then he's got them all in like 49ers gear, like he has them dressed, like everything. And then his entire YouTube channel is just him, like, yeah, Niners, and like him interacting with the mannequins that are in his front yard. Then he He has some in his house, like in the living room. He had some on the couch, like watching the game with him. Dude, this guy is a legend. He's an insane,
This guy's
amazing.
dedicated. Dedicated.
And then God, what is it? It had to be a few years ago. Um, he was like outside. He had like a Batman costume, um, like painted 49ers colors, and he's like just walking around outside yelling Niners, Niners. So I'm really pulling for that guy. So I hope the 49ers win. So
You
I'll
want to
take
give
Niners.
you want to give a
Niners,
score? You want to give a score too?
yeah, I'll go Niners 27-24.
Okay. All right. I don't know who I want to win. Like I can't help but recognize, the greatness that seems to be Patrick Mahomes, right?
Yeah,
I remember when his first year, I was kind of like, oh, this is like a fluke. This is a fluke.
yeah.
It's never gonna happen again. And then he's just done incredible things ever since. Um, Andy Reid, ex Eagles coach, they beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl last year. Um, you know, but then I have two friends, like two very close friends who are Niners fans. So I feel like if I didn't root for the Niners, it would be a disgrace to them. At the end of the day, I really don't care, I guess.
I wanted the Lions. Like once we
Yes.
were done, I wanted the Lions to win so bad because I feel like they're like the Browns too. They're like a poverty like team that just
Yeah.
has had like no luck for
Yeah.
like decades. You know what I mean? And it
Decades.
was like that team deserved it. You know what I
I
mean?
can't
So
believe, and yeah, I mean, even when the Ravens were playing the Chiefs, right?
yeah,
I was like, I don't even care about them because they were just in the Super Bowl the last 10 years or whatever. Like they've been a good team
yeah.
for a lot of years. So I really didn't care about that. But I'm not one of those guys that's like, oh, Kansas City's won too much, whatever. But yeah, I really wanted to see the Lions go to the big game.
I wanted, even though the Texans beat the Browns to knock us out of the playoffs, I wanted to see the Texans go also, just because I'm a Buckeyes fan, I'm an Ohio State fan, and CJ Stroud. I'm a CJ Stroud fan,
Okay.
regardless of that he torched us in that game. But I would have loved to see him as a rookie win the Super Bowl. That would have been sick.
You even went out to a game this year, didn't you?
Yeah, we did go out to Cleveland for a game. That was cool. It's Colton's
Oh,
first game,
that was his
and they
first game. That's
won.
awesome.
And
That's
they
eight.
won. That
That's
was good.
core memories right there. That's great. I remember you
Yeah,
posted a picture and I wanted to comment, but I was like, I don't want people to think that I'm like an asshole because I was on Facebook too, and like I
yeah,
feel like people on Facebook are a little bit more, what's the word? I don't know, like thoughtful or they'll do a little more research maybe. I don't know.
yeah.
But I remember seeing you guys like in a parking lot, and the parking lot was just like it just
The Muni
cracked.
lot.
It was cracked to all hell. It looked like an asteroid had hit the parking lot and just spiderwebbed the entire lot. I'm like, that's Ohio right there.
Yeah, the Muni lot is legendary. The people that come out there every Sunday, the like just the buses and vans, and people have that they've bought old ambulances,
Hmm.
and they've painted them and then customized them. It's literally insane. It's Cleveland fans are nuts.
Well, I always say I wish I was that passionate about anything.
Yeah,
Like
it's
I think I'm that way
wild.
with my family, right? Like I love my children, I love my wife, like I genuinely like love my family. But I wouldn't say I'm passionate. I'm not going to paint the side of my car with my kid's face on it. Like people are nuts. And I wish I was like, am I just lacking that as a person? Like what like is there something wrong with me?
No, I don't think so. I mean, to be fair, if I had the money to like buy an RV and
Okay.
like
Yeah.
fully customize it, like yeah, I probably would. I'd
You're
probably
right.
have,
You're right. Maybe
you know what I mean?
we're just poor. That's what it is.
Yeah. That's actually what it is.
Fuck, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. Um, so
I'm like my eyes twitching from this monster.
hell yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
See, it's starting to
I'm gonna have a little more. I think, but
be all right. You'll be all right. You'll be
so
good.
yeah. So we talked about your social media presence. We're not going to call it influencer. We're going to call it entertainer.
Entertainer.
We talked about you being a dad, obviously, and your son's a great kid. He's a character.
Thanks.
You and I have raced a foot race, a good old fashioned foot race. He almost got me, but
Was it
once you get this train moving, but it's hard to stop.
that is inertia.
I think I think in a year he'll get me, but he's a good kid. He's a lot of fun to be around, and obviously you're doing a great job as a father, and
Appreciate it.
I could tell. I have not officially met your wife. Maybe I have in kind of passing, like a hey, whatever. Um, but seems like a very a sweet girl, and you're a good guy. So
Thanks.
I imagine you're both, great parents and good people. Um, let's talk about the music stuff real quick,
Okay.
and then I have some guest questions to ask you, and then I'll let you go. I know it's getting kind of late on a Wednesday, no, Thursday night, Thursday,
Thursday.
February
Yeah.
5th, Jesus,
Tomorrow's Friday,
February
baby.
1st. Um, yeah, talk about your music because it's good. I remember
Oh, thank
I
you.
tried to get you on this podcast a few months back because you released some music, and I was like, this is good stuff. It's definitely, I wouldn't say it's like a something that you have to have like a taste for. It's very consumable by the masses, I would say, right?
Yeah.
So talk to me about
Yeah.
the few songs you've released and what the name of the project is and things like that.
Yeah. So it's called the project is Quiet Rooms. Um I think I only have 3 songs on Spotify. Um, but yeah, I mean it's just like typical like emo, pop punky kind of music. Like I said, I don't consider myself a musician. Um, I don't really play any instruments or anything like that, but I do like to sing and write songs. So it's just a hobby, basically. But um, over the last couple years of doing the social media stuff and kind of gaining confidence of like putting things out to an audience of people has helped. And then also my wife has also been a big part of like pushing me to just like just do like you want to do it, just like do it. And then she's been like the definitely the biggest like driving force of me like just doing it. So I mean it's not my it's a hobby. It's not my main thing. Like I said, I don't consider myself a musician. Um, but yeah, I make music under quiet rooms, and I very quietly, um, post it now. It's a thing that's there, but it's not my main thing that I do.
Well, like I said, they're good tunes.
Thank you.
Um, have you always had this like? I mean, you're a creator. It seems like you just have this like itch to create, and even stuff that you collect. It's like stuff that's has a creative vibe to it, right? Like, has this been you your entire life? Have you just been drawn to creativity, or
Um, Honestly, like as a young kid, I was a big like sports kid. Creative stuff wasn't my thing, but like I would say like junior high, high school, like music and I got into like started skating. Skateboarding was a big part of my life. Um, making video like just making and editing videos and stuff was something I got really into. And I honestly like owe a lot of that to like Bam Margera and all the CKY crew and stuff like that. Like just watching, their videos and watching skate videos and stuff like that, I think got me into just wanting to do more creative stuff like that. But
So
yeah,
what you're saying to me is you realize that you were what 5'10" and white, and sports were probably not in your future.
yeah, that's honestly that's a fair statement. I played baseball up, through like high school, but
Yeah,
uh football I think I stopped in like junior high when they were like, yeah, you're not gonna be able to play the positions that you want to play.
yeah, you're gonna
But
get hurt.
yeah. Um but I still love sports, but
Same.
I do love music, and I love making videos and doing stuff like that. So
I wish I would have got into I always say that I'm not very creative. And when I say that, people are like, well, "What do you think you're doing right now? You're creating." I'm like, "I'm just talking. I'm not creating anything, right?" Um, but I played sports all through high school. I wish I would have like focused on something that's I could still be doing now, whether it be music
right.
or drawing. Because I was always a good like drawer. Um, my mom wanted me to take. I think she presented it the wrong way. She wanted me to take banjo lessons. And as a
Okay.
kid, like I'm like, even if you said guitar lessons, I probably would have told you no. But like you said banjo, like do I
You
have a
might be
piece,
in Billy String's band today if you did.
right? Yeah, who knows? I mean, I could have been somebody. Like I should have listened to my
Yeah.
mother, you know. But like when I say banjo, I'm like I'm not like on a rocking chair outside of my front porch with a piece of wheat in my mouth. Like I'm not doing that. Like no thanks, mom. But yeah, I wish I would have got into something that was like you know in my wheelhouse. I mean, I was good at sports, but I played sports. I never like practiced outside of practice. I never like lifted weights. Like I was 125
Yeah.
pounds finishing high school, and I'm
Yeah.
like probably 100 pounds heavier now than I was when
Okay.
I was 18. Um, but I was like real skinny, like too skinny. Like
Hmm.
when I was like up to like 155, 175, I was like healthy looking.
Yeah.
No, I'm just overweight, but that's not,
Feel that.
don't tell
Feel
anybody.
that.
But yeah, so, but it's cool. Like what I'm getting at is it's cool that you kind of found that space and like kind of embraced it. And
Yeah.
again, the internet uh lends itself to be a great tool for those who are handy like that.
Yeah. I agree.
So all right, so at work I went around and got some
Okay.
guest questions from some staff members at Axelrad. I said, "Yo, talking to Clay tonight. What do you got?"
Okay. Let's go.
First up, Tyler Rice. He says, "Do you prefer chocolate starfish or hot dog flavored water?"
I prefer chocolate starfish and the hot dog flavored water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny though. We did talk about Limp Bizkit and Fred Durst.
That's his question.
That's
That
his
was his
question.
question. Oh
He
my
had
god.
another one too. I don't know if it was an inside joke. I didn't love it. I'll pull it up here. Let me pull it up. Where is it? Tyler, come on. Did I delete it? What's going on here? What is happening? This makes for great this on air content. His initial question was, and whatever. If you were an N64 colored cartridge, which would you be and why?
Um, that's a good one. I like that one. That's a good question.
Do you? I thought it was dumb.
I like it. Probably the Donkey Kong, the yellow one.
The other one, okay.
I like that one. Yeah, that's a good one.
So, but why? The game was cool. You
Yeah,
liked yellow.
that game was sick. You fucking smash barrels and shit. That was dope.
Okay. All right. Sean Werkheiser. Is that how you say his name? I got to work on that because I'm actually emceeing his
Workheiser?
wedding.
Yeah.
Werkheiser.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, he would like you to address the rumors of you being a corporate plant set by Monster to influence children to do bad things.
All right. I'll come clean. Monster met with me a while back, and they were like, you know what, sales are good. We've got a lot of professional athletes doing a lot of things. We make a lot of money, but you know what we don't have a lot of? Badass kids drinking our badass energy drink. And they told me that they think that I'm the guy who could influence a younger generation to do badass shit and drink a badass drink. And so that's what I've set out to do. And I think
So,
I'm doing a pretty good job of it.
so would you say that you have aided in the amount of holes that have been punched in drywall, or are
I
you out
think that
to?
yeah,
Was that
I think the number of holes per square foot of drywall has gone up drastically since I started making videos. Yeah.
okay? I wasn't sure if you were um a ploy to curb that, or if you were the catalyst. And it sounds like you were the catalyst.
Listen, I'm the chosen one. Monster chose me for a task. I'm gonna complete the task.
You're a fire starter.
Yeah, I'm gonna
When they
start it.
when they said jump, you said how high?
I said, show me the money.
How high do you want to go here? How big do you want these holes? How
They're gonna
popular
be.
do you want Kyle to be?
We're going all the way to the
I
top
think
with
you
this one.
I think you've succeeded. So sir, job well done.
Thanks.
Uh Bashir. Bashir Woods. Shout out Bashir.
Shout out Bashir.
Did you see Bashir today?
I did.
Did
I
you see his
did.
mustache?
I did. It looked awesome.
It did look, it was amazing. And he
Yeah,
said, he said, dude, what's with the thing? He goes, I love his mannerisms.
he's sick.
He's the best.
He's so awesome.
He's such a cool guy. But he's like, in honor of Black History Month, and since I'm black, I wanted to respect the MLK and appear to be more like him. I'm
I
like,
love it.
you nailed it. You nailed it. It's perfect. So,
He rules.
Bashir, thank you for the question.
Oh yeah.
And last question I have. I didn't get around to everybody. I just got a few. DJ Lori wants to know what your thoughts are on reverse microwaves.
I think the reverse microwave is the greatest invention in the last 1,000 years. If I'd be honest,
Okay, why is that?
because it takes hot stuff, makes it like not as hot, so you don't
That's
like burn your mouth.
right.
I think that's brilliant.
Yeah. Okay.
So
They 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 said you say that.
did he?
Yeah.
Smart guy.
Smart guy. Well, buddy, took a lot of your time. An hour 45. This is probably one of the longest ones I've done in a few months.
Yeah,
But
my phone just let me know too. It's like
is it dying?
it's not, it's probably close to 10%, but
Damn, it was 100 when we started.
yeah, yeah.
Shit. I wonder what my computer's at right now. That's good. That's pretty good. But we talked about your not influence, your entertainment value.
Yeah.
ClayxScott on Instagram, ClayxScott on TikTok.
Right.
Follow him there. Don't if you're a normal person and you're trying to get a rise out of him, don't do it. Not going to work. You'll just get harassed by his followers, and it's not worth it. I actually had to delete the comment
Yeah.
to remove myself from the algorithm Because like I said, I stopped commenting or stopped responding. I just let it go, let it be, thinking it would eventually go away, and it got worse.
Yeah,
Um,
they do that.
yeah.
They
So
they do that.
thankfully, again, I'm not uh, affected by that. It was my phone would just lighten up every 2 minutes. Notifications,
Yep. You have
notifications.
push notifications on too.
Well, I mean, they not like it wouldn't like buzz in my pocket, but like it would come up on the front of my screen. Yeah,
I was gonna say yeah, because your phone was probably like ding ding
yeah,
ding ding
constantly.
ding,
Yeah, it was.
probably going crazy. Yeah.
But yeah, so I removed the comment and things subsided after that. But I feel like a pussy having to do that. But you know, desperate times call for desperate measures. So
I get
yeah.
it.
But what I'm saying is, go enjoy the content. Parody, satire. It's fun. It's nostalgic. It's not real. Let's say, but it's entertaining, and that's what he is. He's an entertainer.
Right.
Music, Quiet Rooms, available streaming, Spotify, other platforms. He's got 3 songs out. All 3 are very, very good. I would encourage anyone to
Thank
listen
you.
to those. And we'll see what happens at the big game. We'll see
Yeah.
real quick. I don't know how you feel about the Taylor Swift effect or the perception of the T Swift effect. Um I think actually your character, maybe your character should do some kind of video about how much they hate Taylor Swift infiltrating the NFL. Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of guys out there, right? Oh,
Oh,
they're
they hate
showing
it.
Taylor, they're showing T Swift every, if the game's an hour long, they're showing her for, you know, 59 minutes or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
And then there's actually fact checkers. There's those things that exist, right? And I think she might get like 25 seconds of screen time, you know,
Yeah.
which is funny. Which is funny because people just their perception of
Yeah.
reality is kind of funny. But yeah, we'll see what kind of influence she has on the NFL big game because
We'll see.
they've been saying Travis Kelsey's been struggling recently up until the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. Distracted.
Dude, I mean, I'm a T Swift fan. I am. Not gonna lie.
I have no problem with
No
Taylor Swift.
no problem.
No hate
Again,
here.
they stayed out of trouble. Um, I like her music, and there's worse things out there. There are worse things that we have to be concerned about than
That's
Taylor
fair.
Swift.
It's true.
So, ClayxScott, thank you for your time. Give us your handles on all the socials so people can follow you.
Yeah, it's just Instagram and TikTok. ClayxScott. That's it.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Buddy,
And
thank you very much.
Quiet Rooms
Quiet rooms.
on Spotify and any other streaming service that you have.
Very cool.
That's it.
Well, thank you. I could probably talk to you for another hour, but won't do that to you.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Cool.
All right, buddy. Thanks.
All right.
All right,
Yep.
we'll see you.
Later.